We're all looking at the same thing. Thank you for joining us for another perspective from the Sag Nasty If Anybody Asks Me podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment. For more videos, please subscribe to the channel. First time, obviously we grew up in the same neighborhood over there in Southwest Saginaw. But the first image that really stands out where that first older god energy hit me was Panamera. Do you remember this story?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you do? All right. Okay, what up, what it do? Sag Nasty, if anybody asks me. Yeah, we got a special guest here. My big bro from back in the neighborhood, the older god. He's gonna impart some wisdom on us and take us back to the beginning, give us a new perspective on Saginaw. I'm super excited to introduce to you everyone, Lathell Wise. What up, what up?
Hey, what up, Daryl? Oh my God.
Yeah. So I always like to start out the interview with the first time we met. So
Oh boy.
I guess it's gonna yeah, I know, right? But it's kind of different when you deal with the older guys because they're in and out. They're in and out of your life. It's not like, like my main crew because you
Yeah.
guys are older. You guys are in a different part of
Yeah.
your life. So that's like really cool to be able to even like ask questions, like asking questions more to a dad than a brother. Because you live with your brother, but with your dad,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't be seeing him like that. So it's more like that, like
Right.
that older father energy. So for
That's
me,
a good
the
way to
image,
put it, man. It truthfully
yeah,
is.
yeah, right. So with me, like there's three images that stand out. Actually, a fourth one when I was walking here, I remembered. But the first time, obviously we grew up in the same neighborhood over there in Southwest Saginaw. But the first
Sir.
image that really stands out where that first older god energy hit me was Panamera. Do you remember this story at
Yes,
all?
sir.
Oh, you do? Okay. So I
Of
didn't know
course.
this. Stu put me on game that I had made. I guess they did 80, 81, which is kind of weird. So I was like with a bunch of older kids for the basketball team, and I was the only one who made it. So all my homies like Stu and Steve and maybe Chris, I don't know if he was around at the time, they didn't make the team. So I'm on the Kennemere team. I don't even know who I played with. I don't remember the games at all. But I remember the bus ride there and back because I was with my older guys. I was with
Yeah,
Lathell
man.
and T in the back of the bus. So I was
Oh
alone,
boy.
you knew us growing up. No one messed with us. Like for whatever reason,
No,
they didn't really mess with
no.
us. And what they did, we
They
had a
couldn't.
backup. We had a backup, and that
Yeah.
was you guys. So I
Yeah,
was
it was the
alone.
goons, man. We had a whole
Yeah,
army, baby.
yeah, right. So I was alone, and this guy who was on my team kept flicking my ear, and I'm like, I ain't never had this happen to me. What is going on? And this dude flicked my ear again. I'm like, hey man, you gotta stop. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm like, hey man, don't flick my ear. And I was scared because I knew I was around a bunch of white people, and you can't really fight like that. I'm like, what am I gonna do? This guy keep flicking my ear, and it
Yeah.
hurt, and it was disrespectful. So finally, he flicked my ear one more time. I just beat the crap out of him, and you guys were like, oh. And this is the first memory that happened. I beat him up. I'm scared I'm gonna get in trouble. And you said, "Hey man, sit back here with us. You represented yourself well. Sit back here with us." And I sat back there, and that was my first acknowledgement from the older guy. I was like, "Wow." I was so scared to get in trouble, and instead I got that acknowledgement. Like you
Nah,
protected yourself. You didn't let yourself get bullied, and
yeah,
that's
man.
that.
Oh, that's a classic, man. I definitely remember that. I remember that like it was yesterday, bro. And here's
Yo,
it's one of those things where it's like you got to understand something. We were in that same position at one point in time, bro. You know what
yep,
I mean? So it's like if you notice, we kind of sit in the background just to make sure, like we gonna see how he reacts. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because
right.
in all honesty, if you would have reacted a different way and just sat there and took it, we obviously would have stepped there and stopped it.
Yeah,
But at the
yeah,
same
right.
time, we'd have been on you a little bit like, hey, bro, like you ain't gonna make it in this environment with these kids if you don't stick
Exactly.
up for yourself and establish that
Exactly.
dominance now. Because you see, like you said, once that happened, the road was smooth as all day after
Oh
that. You know, and it's
man,
like
yeah,
that's a
right.
challenge that we face that a lot of other black kids, honestly, that can't say they face that in Saginaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
oh, that's
that's
true.
something that's a whole different beast. You know what I mean? Especially because,
Yes.
like you said, think about where we was driving to, man. We're going to
Yep.
Canada. We
Yeah.
literally leaving the country. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes. Yes. And at a
so,
very young
but
age, like for me especially too.
very,
Like, right.
bro.
And
I
so
think you
like
got
I
to
remember
remember
I
we
look
started
back.
doing it.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep. No, I
What
was
you
just
say?
gonna say, the age time, on average, what Canamera's kids 10, 11, 12,
10, 11,
14.
12. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like very, very
Yeah.
early stages in life, you know? So it was
Uh-huh.
like, you look at it, there was more than just, playing that sport. There was like true life lessons being like learned,
So
like you said, look at,
many.
we stayed with people, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it
that
was
was
big.
crazy. Canamera was really crazy when I look back at it. It's like they probably don't do that no more.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they do. I
Yeah,
really
it was
wish they
really
would, man.
cool. Yes, it was
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, but it's probably a little dangerous. There's probably too many security issues. We were in
These
danger
days, I
if you
wouldn't
really
doubt
think
it.
about it, right? We
I
were in
mean,
someone else's
it's like,
house.
right. It's like that's kind of
Yeah,
unheard of these days. It's like when you look at
yeah,
how society is and stuff, like you wouldn't imagine like sending your kid to another country, living with a whole family. It's like not at a hotel,
exactly.
nothing like that. Like you're
Not like
living in
that.
these people's house.
Eating their
Yeah, it
food,
was.
sleeping in their bed. It was crazy. And we
Yeah,
were in there, some black kids
yeah.
from Sat, and they weren't scared of us. Like, I mean, they didn't say, I mean, I had no problems. Like, I don't
Nah,
know if I'm
Canada
trying
was
to have,
different.
yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. What about Canada?
No, just saying during that time frame of us playing those sports,
Yeah.
being interacting with the community up in Canada like that, it's like, and considering where we came from, it's like just truly understanding like Saginaw, it's not that big of a town, what
No,
population, maybe 200, maybe under,
something
you
like,
know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
right,
like
exactly.
got some surrounding areas and stuff, the Flints and the Bay Cities and some of the other areas that's close by and stuff. But
Yep,
in reality, it's like we come from a small town. And then, like I said,
very
with us
small.
being, minorities, we in a small group already, like even smaller than where we come from. And then we go
Yeah,
outside of, that complete comfort zone of even that. And like you said, dealing with stuff on the bus, it's
yep,
like as not even just general kids, but just, we kind of ambassadors, athletes, and it's like, but
yeah.
that was something early on that with us being young kids like that, I think that kind of set us up for success in a bunch of different ways.
Definitely, definitely. Like,
And like you
think
said,
about you,
remember in
you've
that
been
bus.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but that bus moment, it brought back a lot of good like times. Like some of the times we had on that bus
Oh
was probably
man.
bigger than the actual weekend and the games itself.
See, I
It's like
don't
I
remember
remember those
it.
bus rides.
Exactly. That's what I remember from that one. Like maybe because I went with my homies or something like that, but like I only remember the bus ride. Like I got to be
Right.
with my older brothers. Like I knew him and like like people on your team is like, well, who's this kid? It's like, yeah, he's with us. It's okay. And it's like that validation goes so far. You just can't understand it, man. Like I wish everyone can have that. Like that's the big reason why I
Well,
want to interview you. That goes
it,
so far.
but bro, that's like with us sitting here today, man. And honestly, that's kind of what that was started back then. Because like I always like we looked at it as like the older guys took care of us. I.e., your brother. Your
Yep.
brother was the same to me. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like it was the
Hmm.
exact same. I mean, almost identical. So of
Yep.
course, when I got that chance, I knew who you were. You
Yep.
know what I mean? It's like so. But imagine like we watching out for that's our big homie. You know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
that's his little bro. It's like okay, that's our little bro too. Let's check him out. You see,
Yep.
and it's like, and then at that time, it's like okay, cool. He can stand up for himself. Like he gonna be all right. Let's take him under the wing. We still would have did it regardless, but
Yeah.
it
I
was
mean,
it was one of
that was
those
the thing. I
experiences.
looked back. I was like, I looked at y'all, and you had like that look, and I didn't know what that look was because I was too young. That's I'm gonna jump on this dude if he does something else. But it's also like,
Right.
let's see what the young blood does. Let's see what he does in this situation because he's got to grow up.
Right.
And so, like, I'm like,
Because we knew
man,
too we won't always be around and be there,
yes,
and like,
exactly.
that was a big thing too. It's like it was like you said, it was like that big brother little brother thing. It's like all
Hmm.
right, man, like that's our little brother, but he has to be able to defend himself, stand up for
Yep.
himself, speak up, because
Yep.
yeah, we here with him, of course he has that power. You see what I'm saying? It's like, but
Yep.
when it's just maybe one, maybe all of us are gone, it's like, because like I said, we
Yeah.
understood we're older, and because it was the same
Yep.
with us when our big brothers left. It was like, oh man, we ain't got them big guns no more. It's just us now. Oh, we're responsible for it now.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's like you
Exactly.
understand, like instantly, like, all right, man, like I gotta reach down now to the next guys, and not so much just like it wasn't even like it was like a bad habit or anything like that. It was more of like, hey man, like let's take them under our wing and show them the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kind of like make sure that they safe, but at the same time, like let them kind of grow into be their people too, because
independent,
letting them
right.
know you got a community here, man. We all trying to strive to be something more than what we are now. And hey,
Yep.
kid, come on. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like because
right.
at the same token, do the same for the little dudes under you, man. It's like we kind of pass that legacy on throughout. You know?
And you talk about that separation too, is that that dude wasn't cut from the same cloth as us. Like, you
No,
know, they were like, what are you doing? Like,
right,
so I'm just gonna let you flick my ear 5 hours or 6 hours. I don't even know how long
right,
it took to get there. Like, I'm
right.
just gonna
There's
do that.
consequences to your actions, partner.
Yeah, there's a consequence. You said it right,
Right?
exactly.